The Father instructs us to make decisions that are focused on the kingdom. In the event that your plans do not take into account the kingdom, they will be rendered ineffective. Always keep in mind that I will perform a miracle for you whenever your faith is put to the test by the odds that are stacked against you. Never give oneself permission to think small thoughts or to develop goals that are too small. I am a very powerful God. Bigger is better. Prepare for more. Nothing will be able to stop you from making a decision when both my mind and my heart are functioning properly in your decision-making process. Not a single circumstance, demon, man, or beast will be able to withstand the intentionality of a man or woman who walks in accordance with my word and my administration. It is not necessary for you to make preparations for the possibility of failure. It is true that you will get exactly what you intend for. There is no need to circumvent the challenges that are in front of you in your planning. Whenever your way of thought and your objective become indistinguishable from my own, the mountain will move, and the circumstance will bow down in terrified obedience. That is what I am saying. This is the way, walk you in it, I am whispering to you in the night. All that is asked of you is the quietness of spirit to say, "Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth." What follows in terms of triumphs gained and adversaries slain are only details. I am speaking to you in the night. This day, the Father instructs you to distance yourself from those who are resentful and furious. There is a root system in bitterness that will poison your spirit and rob you of the joy that is your portion. Bitterness is harmful to your spirit. Maintain a firm foundation in who I am in your life and in the words that I have spoken over you via the power of my Spirit and my word. When I placed a man in the garden, I gave him the instruction to tend to it and to maintain it. Your spirit, your human spirit, is an internal ecosystem just like that garden, and you, too, are responsible for tending to it and protecting it from the predators of the enemy who seek to take away everything that I have bestowed upon you in the blood that was shed on Calvary. In the event that you are offended, the Father advises you to make a deliberate decision to refrain from expressing your viewpoint and to continue loving. This is something that is unavoidable. Maintain a spirit that is free from offense, and do not take on the offenses that others have committed. Even when other people blame and accuse you of doing a variety of wrongdoing, you are not accountable for the failures that occur in the lives of other people. All of these disagreements should be brought to me, and they should be placed on the altar of your service to me. I will cleanse you, keep you, and consistently bring you forward on the highway of holiness, which is your entrance path to the fulfillment of your biggest goal and the highest heart's desire. On this day, the Father declares, I am for you. However, I do not oppose you. It is my mission to bring you to life and to give you life in greater abundance, and the sacrifice of the cross is my mission statement. In contrast to how I think about you and what I have planned for you, every aspect of your life that takes away from my highest and best purpose for you is in direct opposition to what I have in mind for you. Your life is not about experiencing a decline. As a result of the fact that I do not place a high value on human suffering, the sacrifice that was made at Calvary was made in order to restore you back to the experience of, as in heaven, so on earth. Take note of this, says the Father. You are currently in the process of upgrading. It is important to keep pushing forward in faith, even if the enemy may put pressure on you and circumstances may scare you. Continue to anticipate that your share will be good, better, and finest. I have anointed you and called you, so prepare yourself to answer the lofty call that I have given you. The only thing that remains is for you to be discovered to be faithful. Your faithfulness and your audacious expectation of my goodness to be radically manifest in your life will both open the doors that have held you bound and thrust you out into a whole new geography of blessing, entitlement, and benefit. This will happen according to my design and in accordance with the delight that I have in you, my beloved. It is time to set a new objective of faith for yourself and the people you care about, according to what the Father has told us today. Choose to believe for a higher watermark of blessings for your life than you have believed for in the past. When they arrive in heaven and realize how much they were deprived of their privileges while they were on earth, far too many of my children will be left with a flush on their face. I do not have a budget, nor am I a God who is in a state of bankruptcy. When I decide whether or not to answer your petition, I will not be conducting a cost-benefit analysis. I will just follow my gut instinct. Do not enter the auction with a cheap bid, but have faith. You should have faith that your prayers will be answered and that glory will be poured forth in the greatest and finest possible way. You are not waiting for the wealth to be transferred to you, rather, you are the wealth that is being transferred to you. I will reward you and bless you because you have made it your resolve to allow me to spend you like change in my pocket. I will allow you to be spent like change. It is important to keep in mind that you do not need to try to earn what I have freely given you, declares God. By virtue of the fact that I am a loving Father, there is a substantial prize waiting for those who exercise obedience. You have not become distant from me, and I am not keeping myself apart from the need that you have or the cries that your heart is making. Tell people what you require. Be sure to communicate to me the complete extent of your vision, rather than focusing on what a religious mindset might think it might convince me to do. Act with audacity. The challenge I issue to you is to put your faith in my goodness and to witness it being bestowed upon you in the realm of the living today. I am not constrained by time or place, and neither are you, declares the Father in this day and age. It is important that you do not look about and feel as though you are being suffocated or choked. In ways that will create opportunities for greatness for you in areas where none previously existed, I am filling your space with my splendor. The strategy has not been altered. Although the circumstances may alter and the names may change in relation to individuals who were invited to come but were unable to do so because they were engaged in other activities, my plan for your life is still precise and on schedule. Not only am I the God who generates wealth, but I am also the God who gives you the capacity to create wealth through the release of your own faith. Therefore, you do not need to be concerned about resources. Have faith in your faith, says God, since I have given it to you. Have faith in your faith. It is true that there are individuals who have rejected this truth in the past because they were not willing to go to the lengths necessary to see the further fulfillment of what I had in mind for them specifically. According to God, are you prepared to go the full distance? What I have purposed, will it be possible to overthrow my purpose? Will the opposition of man be able to thwart my plans? I have made my God declares, I am the ultimate territorial spirit, and I will not, I repeat, will not give up any territory in your life that I have acquired and paid for with the blood that was shed on Calvary. Have faith in me and look to me. Know that I am currently working. Be conscious of the fact that the best possible conclusion, which surpasses all of your aspirations, is now occurring right now. In this day and age, the Father instructs us to enter a new realm of knowledge. I did not call you to think about anything. You have been demanded to know by me. The gift of who I am that is already there inside you is awakened and made evident when you have the knowledge to know it. The mind in its natural state is not involved in this process. The mentality that is logical is fundamentally hostile to the kingdom that I represent. It is impossible for the regular mind to comprehend or process my thoughts. Take your focus away from the constraints that your physically imposes on you and the unpleasant conditions that are demanding your attention instead. You must take on my thought in order to emerge from the shadows and into the light that I am already present within you. God says that darkness will no longer be able to hold you. You will soon be blessed, and the darkness that has been surrounding you is moving away from you. The tactics that you employ in order to deal with those things that you are unable to alter or improve will thus be unnecessary. As you feel the entitlement of sons around you and filling your whole being, the pressures that are coming against you, even from individuals who are difficult to deal with, are beginning to lessen. Your name is written down in the records that are kept in heaven. Being the child of a caring father, you are a child of privilege. I call you by name and lead you out of this day, leaving behind debt, darkness, and dispute as you ascend to the position of elevation and privilege that has been prepared for you from the very beginning of the world. Today, the Father says, I have given you my ear because I have heard you. Your inner man, your spirit, was created as an instrument to hear my sound, says the Father. My voice is like the sound of many waters at the same time. From the most profound part of you, my voice is audibly communicated to you in a way that is crystal clear. Take note of the sound I make. Please give in to the sound of my voice that is resonating within the depths of your inner man. When objects on the outside and unfavorable circumstances demand your attention, you should once more turn your attention to the sound that I make within you. The sound that I make is a note of dominion and triumph. Transformation and healing are the effects of my voice. What you have been waiting for without my deliverance in your life is actually something that originates within your own human heart. You have waited and waited and waited for it to come from somewhere else. I have made you my temple. You are the location where I make myself at home. I have placed my throne within you, and it is at my throne that I ask you to commune with me and ascend to a position of total and undisturbed tranquility. Be aware of this, God says. I am an inner God working an inside job in your life. Understand this. Being dependent on other people is a distraction. Dependence on others is an act of idolatry. Reject any and all claims that I am currently engaged in something or that I intend to engage in something that is related to the here and now. I am a God who is present in the here and now because that is where you require my presence the most. I have not gone too far. It is through the blood that was shed at Calvary that the chasm that sin has created between us is bridged. On this day, you will receive your at-one-ment. It is important for you to understand that I have no other desire save for you to reach a state of oneness and closeness with me. Intimacy is the source of everything that I am doing in your life, and it is the cause of everything that I am doing. The entire display of my power that originates in you and flows out from you to deliver, shift, and transform those things that appear to be so much beyond your ability to change will be found in the area where you have close contact with me. Today, the Father instructs us to take care not to abandon our own mercy. In the same way that a face responds to another face in a glass, the heart of a man responds to the heart of another man. In your own life, the things that you observe in other people will produce a composite mirror. You are putting yourself in a position to be attacked by the adversary when you allow feelings of criticism and complaint to serve as the primary lens through which you perceive other people. It does not matter if you are correct. The issue at hand is not about acting as a self-appointed judge of the behavior of another person. Today, let the law of kindness to be a part of your vocabulary. You should conduct all of your interactions with the people around you with words of mercy. As you cultivate compassion and walk in mercy, you will discover that you are entering a higher level of development. In my kingdom, are you prepared to step up to the next level? In the same way that you seek to be awarded patience and sweetness of spirit in your own life, it is available to you when you accord each other the same qualities. Make an effort to find ways to release people from their obligations. You are putting yourself in a position of utter deficiency and obstructing the flow of my blessings into your life when you filter the behaviors of everyone around you in terms of their morality and spirituality. Keep this in mind: I send rain on those who are just and those who are unjust. At a time when you were still unlovely and an adversary of the cross, I made the best of heaven available to you in order to redeem you and bring you back to me. In the same way, show the same degree of mercy to those who have insulted and offended you. Let the response of love be the deciding factor in what you do next. What matters is not whether you get what you deserve or what other people have in store for you. Every day, it is about moving forward into a more profound state of love and compassion for others. Love is a charity. Love is a forgiving emotion. I will reward you when you choose to reflect my character rather than your own faulty perspective toward the individuals who displease you the most. Love is able to bear the unacceptable because it is aware that nothing escapes my observation. Becoming God within your thoughts is what the Father is saying today. I do not exist in a distant God. I do not exist in some hazy, remote location outside you. Rather, I am as close to you as your hands and feet are to you. It is not the case that your assistance originates from some other dimension through which you do not have access. I am a God who exists in the here and now. Because I am in your life, I am here to deliver and to set you free. As a reality that is both immediate and present, I am. I am here. I am here to mend. I am here to supply what you need. I am here to make my presence known in order to fulfill the requirement and triumph over the adversary who is close to infringing onto your life. Adopt the conviction that you are one with me and that I am one with you. Have this conviction deep within you. Collectively, rather than individually, we are confronting this day and working our way through these difficulties. The norms of separation and alienation are taught to you by religion, yet I am not separated from you through my relationship with you. It is not the case that I am keeping anything from you in any way. On the other hand, you should be a father-pleaser and fix your focus upon who I am on the inside of you so that I might elevate your head and establish you in a place of promotion and acceleration into that place of destined glory that is your portion by my hand. This is not what you have always been taught. According to what the Father has revealed to you today, you have just crossed the threshold of what is and are now heading into what will be. Please pay great attention to what I have to say and maintain your focus on the Holy Ghost GPS that I have implanted within you. Do you remember when I said that I would lead you into everything? In the event that it is required to rectify the wrong course that only leads you to a dead-end circumstance or relationship, then listen to my voice when it is necessary to do so. Due to the fact that there was a variation from what I had first envisioned, you will hear my voice saying, recalculating. By doing so, I will prevent you from being forced to accept the consequence that is outlined in Plan B. My mission in your life is to make sure that your deepest, most heartfelt desires and your most ambitious dreams come true. Do not presume that you are aware of the specifics of what it entails, and I can unequivocally guarantee that you have absolutely no idea how I will bring you to that desired destination. The time has come to relieve yourself of the burden of relationships and involvements that are not only unneeded but also detrimental, and which have only served to slow you down and leave you feeling disheartened. You should stop listening to those who are on the periphery of your life. The only people who are considered to be do-nothings are those whose perspective is that there is nothing to do. I have a plan, and it is being carried out regardless of whether you are aware of it or not. I am bringing you to the spot where you will be blessed. This day, the Father advises that it is time to make a change in one's diet. There are some adjustments that need to be made to your spiritual body mass index, also known as your spiritual BMI. I want you to resist the messages of people who have a message that is a mile broad and a half-inch deep, which are that you should consume a lot of carbohydrates and sweets. Until you break free from the sugar rush of preaching and teaching that lacks depth and substance, you will never have the strength to ride in the high regions of the earth. Until then, you will never have the strength to ride. Your spiritual diet is severely lacking, and this is the source of the weakness that you are experiencing. God is saying, I am calling you out to find the meat to eat that the casual and the self-referred will never have an appetite for. I am calling you out to find the meat to eat. You have been squandered and you have endured long enough of a fight. Let's make all of those changes, shall we? God encourages every one of you to launch out into the deeps of my spirit. Discover a message and a messenger who will question your assumptions and genuinely need something from you. Launch yourself into the depths of the ocean. For the sake of my honor, you have cried out. That grandeur is brought about by my order, if you will. My goal is to ensure that everything in my house and in my purposes is in order. More than just laying around in the grass and drinking from the quiet waters, this is more than that. In your life, who constitutes the apostle? Who do you consider to be the life's prophet? Where is that gift from the office that reprimands, rebukes, and corrects you, not for their own enjoyment but for your own benefit? In the words of the Father, come out of the playpen of spiritual things. This is the period for maturing. When it comes to your life, it is time for me to mature into the full realization of who I am. Today, the Father has made it clear that He is an all-or-nothing God. I will not allow the adversary to take even a single step into the area of your heart on account of the fact that your life is my delightful country. There is no possibility of shared custody in the case of my lordship of your life. I am God, and I am your complete and total being. I will not in any way, shape, or form permit the adversary to enter your life at any time in order to stake a claim to territory in your life. The adversary is a carrion eater who is cherished, and he is doomed to live on the dust produced by the ground. In your testimony, it should be stated that the prince of this world comes to you and finds nothing in you, just as he found nothing in me during the hour of my passion. This is a crucial moment in your life, and the choices you make in the future will have a significant impact on the trajectory of your life for many years to come. In the words of God, my voice is the voice of many waters. The waters that I provide are the springs of Shiloh, which refresh and renew you so that you can prepare yourself for battle. God tells you that you are engaged in combat. There is no denying this fact. In a conflict zone, you should never lie down. There is no way that you should ever lose sight of the goals of faith and fulfillment that I have promised to bring into your life. As I assist you at times, even in the smallest and most seemingly little things, be sure that you maintain a state of keen observation and attentive listening. I am summoning you into personal conflict with your own evil tendencies and the adversary of your soul, despite the fact that other people enjoy lifestyles that are casual, consisting of ease and inattention. As you continue to put your faith and reliance in me, the only result that will occur is that you will achieve victory in every aspect of your life. Today, the Father wishes to tell you that your life is being liberated from captivity. You are currently experiencing the dissolution of the bonds of darkness that have been holding you captive. With the power of the cross, your freedom, which you have struggled for such a long time, is now evident. There is no longer any shame. I tell you that there is no longer any shame, since there is no longer any memory of the things that you have done in the shadows, while you were being held captive and under the torture of your soul. God promises that you will be set free and released just like a bird that has been caught in the snare of a fowler. Breathe in the mercy and forgiveness that I have to offer. As I make everything new again at levels you have never experienced before, I invite you to allow the cleaning of my spirit to penetrate all the way down into the very innermost depths of your being. I am that I am in your life, says the Father. I already am. Despite the fact that you may have never even taken a single step toward independence, it is now yours to take. To relieve you of the agony and distress caused by events that have occurred in the past, the joy of your redemption is coming upon you. There is no memory of them. Just as I mentioned in my word, I do not remember them anymore. The things that I have chosen to forget are no longer a part of my life, hence, I will not summon back what is really a false sense of shame. You do not have any guilt. Yes, you are clean. By virtue of the word that I speak to you today, you are free from all impurities. I call you my beloved, and my delight is in your liberty, so that you may soar to the heights of my glory and know me as your rescue beyond all of your hopes. This is your lot, because I call you my beloved. This day, the Father declares that you and I are of the same composition. As soon as I arrived on earth, I stripped myself of all the characteristics that characterized my magnificence in heaven earlier. I then paid the price so that you would recognize me as the way, and so that you would ascend into my throne and be set with me at the right hand of the Father. In the cherished, you are accepted as you are. To the same extent that I am in the heavens, you are on the earth. How am I doing? How am I able to be in the heavenly realm, standing at the right hand of it all? Do I have a sickness? Or am I living in poverty? Do I occupy a broken state? For this reason, you should not allow any of these deceptive conditions and events to be a part of your own existence on earth. The ones who are entitled to sit on my throne are you. In no way will anything be able to cause you harm. Have faith in the positive report, and get a glimpse of the whole manifestation of everything I paid for you on Calvary. Put your mind to it that you will not confine yourself to a limited or natural understanding of the world. Regardless of where you are in life, I will not be able to prevent me from blessing you. I have a plan to bring you into your blessing place, and your financial situation will not be a barrier to fulfilling that purpose. Nothing, not even your ethnicity or your marital situation, can prevent or hinder the outpouring of my glory and blessing onto you. This is true regardless of the circumstances. It is God who tells you to change your thinking about such matters. Move on from the past. You should forget the catastrophic failures that occurred in the past. I am present here. I am currently in motion. I am bringing you to a higher position and placing your feet in a certain location that will bring you benefits and blessings, and nothing will ever be able to stand in the way of my plans to bring about the fulfillment of your destiny. The Father is saying to us now, take on the mentality of my throne, which is the ascension. The mind of Christ is the mind that will never be overthrown or put down in any way, by anything or anyone. Put on the mind of Christ. I am one with you, and you are of the same nature as I am. You are one with me in the same way that the Father and the Son are one with the Holy Spirit and who are also one with each other. In my kingdom, the adversary is unable to reach you because of who you are. In the process of recognizing and experiencing the fact that you are one with me, you will gain an understanding of the significance of your position within me. There has never been a time when you were in a better position to prevail and to triumph than you are right now. Now is the time for you to take your seat on my throne, declares God. There is no restriction on the invitation, and it is made quite plain that you are free to step boldly into your own. The Lord declares, on this day, I call you to a place in heaven, in the throne room of my presence. In the same way that the adversary is unable to successfully attack you, he is also unable to remove me from my eternal throne. I tell to you that every hope is yours. Now that you have reached this point, you are aware of the extent to which you are loved and the many advantages you have inside the family of the Father. You have been granted the privilege of being a child of a loving Father, and you will never be defeated or disenfranchised from the privileges that I have bestowed upon you as a result of the work that was done on the cross. It is impossible for you to ever feel lonely, the Father says today. You will never be able to be alone. You will never be harmed or destroyed because I am with you and in you to carry out my pleasant pleasure. Your safety is guaranteed. For the purpose of granting you life and life in greater abundance, I come to you. Anything and everything within you that represents a condition that is contrary to your own is a deception in the hands of the adversary. My glory is approaching saturation in your life, and it is beginning to manifest in a moment of time what boundlessness and blessing beyond all imagining looks like. That deception is beginning to fade away. What the Father has to say is that you are not disqualified. Know that I am larger than your heart, and that I have the final word in this matter. If your heart condemns you, simply know that I am. Due to the fact that the gavel has been lowered in your favor in the courts of heaven, it is irrelevant that the courts of man's opinion argue against you. What I performed on Calvary has resulted in the settlement that you have requested and has been approved. You are not to wait any longer, and you are not to deny anything, says God, since this is the time that has been set apart for your restoration, rescue, and redemption. At this moment, the Father declares that you are holy and spotless in front of me in love. The accuser is the only person who can provide any other perspective. Learn to see yourself in the same way that I see you. When you look at yourself in the same way that I perceive you, you will have the opportunity to experience the undeniable truth that just as I am in the skies, you are also in the earth. This will happen during a brief instant. Due to the fact that I am doing well in the skies, you are doing well on earth and will continue to do so in the future. In the same way that I am furnished in the skies for all eternity, you are and will continue to be provisioned in the earth in an irreducible manner. According to the Father, you must break free from time-bound knowledge. Disentangle yourself from the web of lies that the adversary has spun to characterize you as someone who is less than, unable, and unable. You are not the same as others. There is no incapacity in you. You are not unable to do so. What you are saying is a falsehood, and it is the damaging factor that leads to your failure. Therefore, I announce to you that you are not a failure in the skies, and I want you to declare the same thing to me. I want you to declare that you are not a failure. This is not a defeat for you. In no way are you someone who can be subdued. You have proven that you are not just a conqueror but also more than a conqueror in every struggle that you are currently facing.